Okay, we are talking about using proportions to solve percent problems. So we were looking at perhaps the Jump Math book, page 19, page 20. But we're looking at what percent, let's take a look at this question. What percent of 20 is the number 4? So we can think about using a proportion of a part to a whole. So let's see if we have a part compared to the whole. So the part is the number 4, and the whole number, the total number, is 20. So we can think the part is 4, and then the whole is 20. And if we see that, that's the same thing as some percentage. Now, when we think about percentage, we think about a number out of 100. So we can think, well, there's some percentage. We don't know what that is, but this proportion here can help us solve this problem. So here we can see, okay, well, we have 4 out of 20 is equal to something out of 100. Now, how to solve this is by seeing the relationship between the bottom numbers. If we take a look at the bottom number, this bottom number 20, to become 100 here, this relationship is, well, this had to be multiplied by 5. And so we're going to use that same relationship to get this question mark number. This 4 has to be multiplied by the same number that 20 had to be multiplied. So we have 20 times 5, it was 100. So we multiply this 4 times 5, and we get the number 20. So here we can see that 4 is 20%. So here 4 is 20% of the number 20. Okay, let's take a look at this question. We said, okay, if 6, the number 6, is 25% of a certain number, which would be 100% of that number, if 6 is 25% of this number, what is that number? Well, we can think part to the whole. The part to the whole looks kind of like this. 6 is the part compared to some number which we don't know what it is, but we do know the relationship is that it is 25%. Now, percent, if you think about century, percent, cent, like a century, is per 100. So here we can think of 25 compared to 100. So then we can see this as a fraction. So 6 over something is equal to 25 over 100. Now this is one of those special cases because we can't see how 6 directly goes into 25. So maybe we'll change that again, and we'll say 6 out of something is the same thing. And let's just try to find an equivalent fraction to 25 over 100 here. So we can think of this as 1 over 4. Well, we think, okay, now this, when we look at this here, we think this 1, we can look at it backwards too. We can go from right to left. 1 to get to 6 was multiplied by 6. This 1 times 6 was 6. And then if we look at this, we can use that same operation. That means that 4 times 6 is going to be that question mark. And so we find out that question mark is equal to 4 times 6, which is equal to 24. Okay, let's take a look at this next number. We'll say, all right, 24 is 80% of what number? So again, we can do a part to whole, part compared to whole. Now the whole part here is 24. The whole, we don't know what it is, and we can put a question mark, or we can put, a variable x. But we know that that is equal to 80%, so that is 80 compared to 100. So if we think of it, we can think, okay, well, if we put it into a fraction, 24 compared to this unknown whole part is the same thing as 80 over 100. Now, can we get from 24 right to 80? Well, that might be difficult. So I'm going to rewrite it again so that I have 24 over this unknown question mark. But I'm going to change this 80 over 100 to something a little bit better. So here, if I divide 80 by 10, and I also would divide 100 by 10. Could you convince yourself that 80 over 100 is the same thing as 8 over 10? Now we can see that 8, going from right to left, 8 times 3 gets me the 24 on the top. Using that same relationship, we can get this bottom number and also times that by 3, and that's going to get us this number here. And we can see then that this question mark is going to be 10 times 3, which is equal, that question mark is equal to 30. All right, finally, we need to see, well, in some cases when we set up our proportion, we might have a unknown number on the top, or we might have an unknown number on the bottom. So let's go through these examples so that we can see. Here we have 3 over 8 is equal to something. I use a blank box here, but it could be a question mark or it could be the variable x. 3 over 8 is equal to something over 24. So let's take a look. How do we get from 8 to become 24? Well, we can see that 8 times 3 is equal to 24. Now we're going to use that same relationship to get this top number, because here, if 8 times 3 equals 24, then this 3 will have to be multiplied by 3 as well to get this top number. So 3 times 3, that's equal to 9. Here in this example, 2 over 3 is equal to something over 18. We can use this bottom relationship, so the bottom number 3, to get to 18 had to be multiplied by 6. And we're going to use that same relationship on the top. So 2 is also going to be multiplied by 6. And when we do that, 2 times 6 is equal to 12. You can see these are equivalent fractions. So we're using the proportions here so that we can see these equivalent fractions. Now here, let's try this where the blank is in the bottom. 15 over something that we don't know is equal to 3 over 4. So now we use the relationship here from the top. We can see that this 3 times 5 going this way, 3 times 5 is equal to 15. And so that means that this 4 is also going to be multiplied by 5, using the arrow going from right to left. 4 times 5 is going to be this number. So that number is 20. Hopefully this helps you with solving some of the percent problems using proportions, and we'll see you in class next time.